I won a Starship at an auction with zero bidders. The cargo hold discovery left me stunned. But today was different. Today, he was bored, curious, and maybe just a little lucky. The auction was online, beamed directly to his small cabin aboard a shuttle parked in orbit around a dying star. Outside, the sun was fading, turning the metal hulls of the surrounding ships into silver shadows. The screen in front of Alex flickered as he scrolled through the endless list of derelict starships. Most were junk, old transports, forgotten freighters that no one wanted. But one listing caught his attention. The Luminar derelict starship unknown origins, no bidders yet. It was strange. Normally, a ship of this size and design would have at least 10 bids within minutes, yet the listing showed zero. Alex leaned closer, scanning the details. The hull seemed intact, though aged, the engines were offline, and the interior was a mystery. No pictures of the cargo hold, no flight logs, just a simple note. Unknown contents. Alex grinned. Well, that's odd, he muttered to himself. His fingers hovered over the place bid button. Something inside him said this was more than just luck. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was opportunity knocking. A deep breath, a tap, and he placed his bid. The next moment, a notification blinked on his screen. Congratulations, you are the winning bidder. The Luminar is now yours. Alex stared in disbelief. I won, he double-checked. No other bidders, no hidden glitches, just him. The ship was his. And it hadn't even cost much, a mere fraction of what similar ships went for. He laughed aloud. Only me could get this lucky. The shuttle's autopilot guided him to the ship's location, an orbiting junkyard floating silently in the void. Rusted hulls, broken satellites, and abandoned freighters drifted like ghosts around a massive station. The Luminar was parked among them, larger than Alex expected, with a smooth silver surface that reflected the dying star's light. It was elegant, almost alive in the way it seemed to hum softly as his shuttle approached. Docking was easy. The station's automated arms guided the shuttle safely, and soon Alex floated into the airlock of the Luminar. The interior smelled faintly of ozone and old machinery. Panels lined the walls, some blinking faintly, others dark and silent. There were signs of life long gone, a forgotten cup, a chair still bolted to the floor, a dust-covered control console. Alex ran his hands along the railings. "She's bigger than I thought," he whispered. Even in silence, the ship felt aware, as if it was waiting for him to discover its secrets. He activated the lights and started walking through the corridors, careful to note which systems still had power. Most of the ship's core was offline, but the lights flickered in response to his movements. He approached the main control room. Screens lit up faintly, revealing readouts he couldn't fully understand. Ancient symbols, technical data, unknown signatures. This wasn't a human ship. A soft chime echoed in the cabin. Alex jumped. He frowned. "Hello," he called, half joking. Nothing. He turned his attention to the cargo hold, the main reason he had bid so impulsively. According to the blueprints he found in the auction listing, the hold was enormous, capable of carrying hundreds of tons of material. But it was sealed. A series of heavy locks and energy barriers prevented access. Alex studied the controls. The locks weren't just mechanical. They were alien, sophisticated, almost intelligent. Panels blinked in response to his touch, reacting to his presence as if testing him. It was frustrating. "Of course it's not going to be easy," he muttered. But his curiosity was stronger than his patience. He spent hours examining the systems, running diagnostics, and slowly learning how the Luminar responded. The ship was old but not broken. Some parts seemed decades ahead of human engineering, with smooth, seamless surfaces and energy flows he couldn't fully comprehend. As the hours passed, Alex felt a strange connection with the ship. It wasn't alive in the traditional sense, but it had personality. A hum, a rhythm, almost like it was breathing. He paused and listened. And then he heard it, A faint pulse from deep within the cargo hold. He froze. The locks had remained silent before, but now there was a heartbeat-like rhythm pulsing through the ship's metal veins. Curious, he approached the hold. The doors were massive, made of a silver alloy that reflected the dim light like water. A console sat next to them, covered in symbols he didn't recognize. Alex ran his fingers over the buttons, unsure what would happen. A soft glow appeared under his touch. The doors shivered but didn't open. He frowned, thinking quickly. It's a puzzle, that's all. Nothing I can't handle. Hours turned into a day as he experimented. Each attempt brought new responses from the locks, soft clicks, tiny lights flashing, faint vibrations. The luminar seemed to be teaching him, testing him. Alex smiled. That was humans for you, curious, stubborn, persistent. And persistence usually paid off. Finally, just as the second day ended, something clicked. A panel opened, revealing a hidden interface. Symbols shifted and rearranged themselves in response to his touch. The locks hummed, and with a hiss that echoed through the corridors, the cargo hold doors slid open. Alex stepped inside, holding his breath. The hold was vast, dark, and empty at first glance. But then he saw it, a faint glow at the center of the room. He walked closer, careful not to touch anything yet. A large object rested on a pedestal-like structure. Its surface pulsed softly with light as if it had a heartbeat of its own. The shape was unusual, organic curves combined with geometric precision. It wasn't a ship or a machine he recognized. It was something else, something ancient. Alex's eyes widened. What is this? He reached out slowly. The moment his fingers brushed the surface, the object reacted. Light surged across it, forming patterns in the air, symbols, shapes, and a map of stars he didn't recognize. He stumbled backward, awe striking him. The artifact wasn't just a storage device. It was intelligent, alive in a way he couldn't fully explain. A soft voice echoed in his mind, calm and clear. "Curious one, you are welcome." Alex staggered. He wasn't expecting communication. Not from this object, not like this. He shook his head. It spoke, the voice responded again, not loud, not forceful, but calm, almost patient. "You may explore, learn, but be cautious. Others watch, and the universe is older than you imagine." Alex sank to the floor, overwhelmed but thrilled. This was no ordinary starship. He hadn't just won a ship at a bargain price. He had stumbled upon something extraordinary, something that could change everything he knew about space, technology, and perhaps humanity itself. But as he marveled at the discovery, a warning pinged from the ship's sensors. Movement, small, distant, but real. Other scavengers had noticed the ship. The moment of quiet would not last. Alex's mind raced. He could hide, try to escape, or face them. But something in him stirred, a human instinct for exploration, curiosity, and courage. He smiled despite the tension. "Let them come," he whispered. "They won't find this before I do." The luminar hummed in response, almost approvingly. The bond between human and ship, curiosity and intelligence, had begun. And deep inside the cargo hold, the artifact pulsed, waiting for Alex to uncover its secrets. As the light of the dying star reflected off the luminar's hull, Alex realized one thing: his life would never be the same again. Little did he know, the real adventure had only just begun. The luminar was no ordinary starship, and Alex Rayner was no ordinary scavenger. By the time he had fully taken in the glowing artifact in the cargo hold, he knew one thing for certain. This was bigger than any auction, bigger than any bounty, bigger than any discovery he had ever made. He spent the first hours simply staring at it, trying to understand what it was. Its surface was smooth but pulsing with a gentle rhythm, like a heartbeat made of light. When he touched it, soft patterns of symbols appeared in the air around him, shifting and flowing, almost alive. Alex leaned back, exhausted but exhilarated. "Okay, Alex," he muttered to himself. "Think. Don't panic. This is amazing, but it's not dangerous, at least not yet." He sat down in the center of the cargo hold, scanning the holographic symbols. They weren't like anything he had seen before. They weren't human. They weren't alien in the way he had expected either. They seemed alive. Each symbol shifted in response to his thoughts, as if the artifact could sense his curiosity. "Curious one, you seek knowledge," the artifact said again, soft and patient. "Knowledge comes with responsibility. Learn, but do not rush." Alex smiled nervously. Responsibility. Sure, easy to remember that when there's glowing space magic in front of you. But he knew the artifact's message was clear. It was offering him a chance to learn, but it was also testing him. The luminar itself seemed to assist him. Lights flickered along the hallways, consoles activated in response to his touch, and systems hummed to life, as if the ship recognized the connection between human and artifact. Alex decided the first step was understanding the ship systems. If the luminar could interface with him, then maybe he could understand the artifact through the ship. He activated the main console in the control room, pressing buttons cautiously. Screens lit up, showing star maps, energy readings, and unfamiliar symbols. The map of stars caught his attention. He squinted at it, noticing points marked in light blue. They were star systems he had never heard of, scattered in no particular pattern. But one thing was clear: these systems were connected to the artifact's energy signature. Alex tapped the screen. A line of glowing light traced between the systems, forming a path. Coordinates, but why and to what? He whispered. The artifact pulsed in response, a soft hum vibrating through the hull. Paths of knowledge, paths of discovery. Only those who understand may follow. Alex frowned. Understanding. He had no manual, no guide, and no clue what the artifact actually wanted him to do, but that didn't stop him. He was human. Curiosity and stubbornness were part of the package. For the next few days, he experimented. He touched the artifact, traced the symbols, pressed the ship's panels, and slowly learned to communicate with it. Simple thoughts, images, and intentions could be transmitted. The artifact responded, forming patterns and images in the air, teaching him its language. Sometimes it showed him old star systems, ruins of civilizations long gone, and blueprints for technology far beyond human understanding. Alex copied the information into the luminar's memory banks. His hands shook in excitement. The implications were staggering. Humans could finally understand travel methods that had been lost to time, maybe even wormhole navigation. But learning wasn't the only challenge. The luminar's sensors detected movement outside the junkyard. Other scavengers, drawn by the unusual energy signature of the ship, were approaching. Alex saw them on the external cameras, two small ships, cloaked but detectable, moving cautiously toward the luminar. He didn't panic. Instead, he smiled. Humans didn't survive in the void by panicking. They survived by thinking. The first challenge was keeping the luminar safe. Alex accessed the ship's stealth systems. Panels he hadn't even noticed before activated, creating a shimmering cloaking field around the ship. The external cameras now only saw empty space. "Let's see if they're clever enough to find us," he muttered. The scavengers approached cautiously, scanning for energy signatures. The artifact pulsed softly, almost guiding Alex in using the ship's systems. He realized it wasn't just a passenger. It was teaching him. With simple gestures and commands, he activated defensive shields, energy decoys, and sensor jammers. The scavengers were clever, but Alex was cleverer. Hours passed. The scavengers tried several approaches but never found the luminar. Alex watched them retreat finally, disappointed but undeterred. Good. No interruptions. Now we focus. Focus meant returning to the artifact. Alex spent the next several hours experimenting with the holographic interface. The symbols were more than decoration. They were instructions, maps, and keys. One particular symbol caught his eye, a pattern resembling a star system with lines connecting to other points in space. When he touched it, the artifact pulsed, projecting a three-dimensional star chart into the air. He leaned closer, tracing the lines with his fingers. Suddenly, the lines moved, forming a path between systems almost like a trail. Alex's pulse quickened. "Wormhole routes," he whispered. "Yes, paths of travel, paths of discovery," the artifact replied. "But only the curious may follow," Alex smiled. He was curious, more than anyone else he knew. He had spent his life scavenging, repairing old technology and dreaming of what lay beyond human colonies. And now, with the Luminar and this artifact, the possibilities were endless. He started testing small experiments. He activated the ship's engines, cautiously at first. Lights glowed along the corridors, energy flowed through conduits, and the Luminar seemed to hum with approval. The ship wasn't just a vessel, it was intelligent, capable of learning and adapting alongside him. Alex realized something important. The artifact and the ship worked together. One without the other was incomplete. Together, they could explore star systems humans had only dreamed of, but there were risks. As he ran diagnostics, Alex discovered a strange anomaly in the artifact's energy field. Tiny pulses of unknown origin appeared, flickering faintly like whispers in the dark. It wasn't dangerous, but it was a signal. Something, or someone, was aware of the artifact. Alex frowned. Not humans, definitely not humans. He scanned the nearby space with the Luminar's sensors. Nothing unusual appeared, yet he couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. He decided to prepare for contingencies. He enhanced the ship's cloaking, set up motion sensors in all hallways, and created holographic decoys outside the ship to confuse potential intruders. Days passed. Alex experimented with the artifact, learning to extract information safely. He discovered blueprints for advanced propulsion systems, star maps leading to forgotten human colonies, and even schematics for ancient machines capable of producing immense energy without harming planets. Every discovery made him more confident. Humanity, he realized, could achieve far more than it had imagined. Humans were curious, resourceful, and brave. And here he was, proof of it, standing at the center of a starship full of secrets. One evening, after hours of working with the artifact, Alex finally managed to activate a small portal-like projection. Light shimmered and formed a tunnel connecting two distant star systems. The artifact pulsed, sending patterns of encouragement. "You see now. The universe is yours to explore. The knowledge belongs to those who seek it." Alex laughed aloud, leaning back in his chair. "Knowledge, huh? Humanity is about to get a major upgrade." But then the artifact pulsed sharply, a warning this time. Alex's heart raced. The Luminar's sensors picked up another ship approaching, bigger this time. It wasn't scavengers. This was advanced, sleek, and purposeful. Someone or something knew about the artifact. Alex didn't panic. He activated the Luminar's systems and prepared. But instead of hiding, he decided to communicate. "Maybe they aren't hostile," he muttered. "Maybe curiosity works for them too." The approaching ship sent a signal. Alex translated it using the Luminar's AI interface. The message was simple: "We know what you have. Do not misuse it." Alex frowned. "Misuse it? I don't even know what it fully does yet." The artifact pulsed gently. It wasn't angry. It seemed to calm him, guiding him to a simple thought. Humans could use knowledge responsibly. They had a choice to explore, to learn, and to act with intelligence. Alex smiled. He was human. Humans were curious, intelligent, and brave, and right now that mattered more than anything else in the universe. As the ship approached, Alex prepared the Luminar, ready to show that humans could handle challenges with brains, not brawn. He wasn't just defending the artifact. He was proving that humanity could rise to the occasion, even in the face of unknown threats. The artifact pulsed again, soft and steady, almost like it was cheering him on. Alex took a deep breath. "Let us show them what humans can do," he whispered. And with that, the Luminar activated its engines, lights glowing across the corridors, ready to defend, explore, and discover. The universe had just begun to notice humanity, and Alex Rayner was leading the way. The Luminar glided silently through the void, its hull shimmering as the engines thrummed with a gentle energy. Alex Rayner gripped the console, his mind alive with possibilities. The artifact in the cargo hold pulsed softly, like a heartbeat in tune with the ship itself. It had guided him this far, teaching him the secrets of the ship, the hidden star maps, and the ancient technology embedded in the Luminar. Now Alex faced the final test, proving that humans were more than just clever scavengers. They were explorers, problem solvers, and, most importantly, capable of understanding responsibility. The ship's sensors picked up another approaching vessel. Unlike the previous scavenger ships, this one was massive and sleek, moving with precision through the debris-filled orbit of the dying star. Its hull gleamed black, reflecting distant starlight. Alex had no doubt this ship was operated by an advanced species, possibly one that had been aware of the artifact for centuries. He didn't panic. He had the Luminar, he had the artifact, and he had human ingenuity. "Let's see if brains can beat brawn," he whispered, adjusting the controls. The artifact pulsed in response. Light patterns shimmered across the cargo hold, displaying images of star systems and pathways that Alex had never seen. These were shortcuts through space, stable wormhole routes, and hidden energy flows that allowed the Luminar to move faster and more efficiently than any normal ship. Alex understood instantly. The ship approaching wasn't just looking for the artifact. It was testing him. It wanted to see if a human could understand and use knowledge responsibly. He took a deep breath. Using the ship's interface, he projected a holographic display of the nearby star systems. Carefully, he recalculated a course through the hidden wormhole network. It was risky. The paths were stable but narrow. One miscalculation could strand him light years away from any civilization, but humans thrived on risk, and humans thrived on curiosity. With a flick of his wrist, Alex activated the Luminar's engines and guided the ship toward the first wormhole. Lights shimmered along the corridors, responding to the artifact's pulse. The ship seemed alive, anticipating his moves. Outside, the advanced ship followed cautiously, scanning and analyzing, but unable to replicate the knowledge Alex now commanded. Human ingenuity wasn't about raw power. It was about observation, adaptation, and clever thinking. The wormhole opened before the Luminar, a swirling tunnel of light and energy. Alex took a deep breath and steered the ship in. The artifact pulsed, confirming the stability of the path. The Luminar flowed smoothly, like water navigating a river. In minutes, they emerged near a forgotten star system. Planets orbited peacefully, untouched by human colonies or alien influence. And there, in orbit around a small blue planet, Alex spotted signs of life, settlements that had long been abandoned, relics of humanity's early expansion into space. His heart raced. We found them, forgotten colonies. Humanity never truly lost them. The artifact pulsed warmly, almost proud. It was teaching, yes, but it was also approving. Humans had taken the knowledge and used it wisely. Alex knew he couldn't just leave the colonies abandoned. Using the ship's advanced systems, he projected signals toward the surface, establishing contact with automated settlements, reactivating dormant systems, and restoring communications. Within hours, the forgotten human colonies were connected again, sharing information and resources across light years. But there was no time to celebrate. The massive ship was still approaching, now clearly recognizing the Luminar's trajectory. It wasn't hostile, but it was persistent. Alex decided it was time for diplomacy. He activated the Luminar's communication system, sending a holographic message to the approaching vessel. "I am Alex Rayner, a human. I possess the artifact you seek. But I use it for knowledge and discovery, not for destruction." The ship paused. A holographic projection appeared from its hull, showing an alien figure. It was elegant, tall, with translucent skin and intricate markings glowing along its arms. Its voice was calm, melodic, and resonant. "We observed your species," the figure said. "We sought to see if you were capable of responsibility, many before you failed." Alex straightened. "Responsibility isn't about power. It's about understanding and using knowledge wisely." The alien's projection seemed to shimmer, as if considering his words. Then it spoke again. "You have passed the test. The artifact recognizes your potential. Humanity may yet rise beyond what we expected." Alex exhaled. Relief washed over him. The luminar hummed, and the artifact's light glowed brighter, almost as if celebrating. With the alien ship retreating, Alex turned his attention to the possibilities the luminar now offered. Using the artifact, he began mapping star systems that had never been explored by humans. He charted safe travel routes, energy fields, and stable wormholes. He cataloged the technology embedded in the luminar, sharing knowledge with automated systems that could transmit it back to human colonies. Days turned into weeks. Alex traveled through the stars, visiting lost human settlements, ancient alien ruins, and uncharted systems. Everywhere he went, the artifact guided him, teaching, warning, and illuminating. The universe seemed larger, more vibrant, and more alive than he had ever imagined. Through it all, Alex realized something profound. Humanity's strength wasn't in its weapons or technology. It was in its curiosity, intelligence, and courage. Other species may have advanced machines or powerful fleets, but humans could adapt, solve impossible problems, and explore without fear. One day, while navigating a dense asteroid field near an uninhabited star system, Alex encountered another challenge. The luminar detected a ship trapped among the rocks, a small explorer vessel in danger. Its life support systems were failing. Alex didn't hesitate. Using the luminar's advanced maneuvering thrusters, he guided the ship through the asteroid field, clearing debris and creating safe pathways. He contacted the stranded crew and activated automated repair drones from the luminar, restoring critical systems. Within hours, the explorer vessel was operational. The crew of the ship, human like him, cheered in relief. Alex smiled. "Humans don't give up," he whispered. The artifact pulsed, approving. Through acts like this, Alex realized that the luminar and the artifact weren't just tools. They were a test of human capability. Every decision, every calculation, every act of ingenuity reinforced the truth. Humans were remarkable. They didn't need to dominate. They only needed to think, explore, and act wisely. Weeks later, Alex returned to orbit near the dying star, now a hub of activity. Signals from restored human colonies, explorers, and automated systems converged. Humans were reconnecting, sharing knowledge, and learning from the artifact. Alex had sparked a renaissance of exploration and discovery, proving that one human with curiosity and courage could make a difference across the stars. He stepped into the cargo hold once more, standing before the artifact. Its light pulsed gently, reflecting on his face. He smiled. "Thank you," he said softly. "We'll be responsible, we'll learn, we'll explore." The artifact pulsed brighter, as if acknowledging his words. Then it sent a final pattern of symbols, coordinates to an unknown, distant system. It wasn't a warning nor an instruction. It was an invitation. Alex felt a thrill of excitement. There were still mysteries to uncover, systems to explore, and knowledge to gain. The universe was vast, and humanity had just begun to prove its worth. He turned to the controls of the luminar, his hands steady, his mind sharp. With a deep breath, he set the ship on the course indicated by the artifact. The stars blurred as the engines activated, and the luminar accelerated through space, guided by light, intelligence, and human curiosity. Alex knew this was just the beginning. There would be challenges, puzzles, and rivals, but humans could face them all. Intelligence, ingenuity and courage were enough to thrive in a universe full of wonders. As the Luminar disappeared into the depths of space, leaving the dying star behind, Alex Rayner felt a sense of pride, awe, and excitement. Humanity had stepped into a larger story, and he was leading the first chapter. And in the glow of the artifact, pulsing softly in the cargo hold, a quiet message seemed to echo through the ship. Curiosity is your strength. Knowledge is your gift. The universe awaits. Alex smiled. Humanity had arrived. The adventure had only begun.